Yeah, the basic objective of this particular workshop, the art and science of joyful living, is to learn how to become joyful in life. So one of the biggest challenge that confronts almost every person in this world is how to live happily. If you look at different kind of people, they might be having a lot of money, but there is no peace of mind. They are not happy. They're not making the best of their life. If you look some people who doesn't have money, but who has got good health, even they're not happy because they lack money. Like that, if people might be having good money, good health, but if they're not having good relationship with people around them, then the life is miserable. So if you look at every aspect of life, there is some kind of pain in our human life. So since the days of Lord Buddha, people were desperately trying to discover various ways of actually getting joyful all through your life, 24 by 7, how we can be in this kind of exalted state. So that is the biggest challenge. We can make money, we can build health, we can actually build good relationship, but still there is lot of vacuum in people's life. There are some people who are very successful in their life and they have all the money, they have good health, they have good people around them. Even then they have some kind of vacuum in their life. And the best example is Lord Buddha. Though he was born prince, he was not happy with the way human life is designed. So he wanted to understand what exactly is this. So he went and he started meditating, and then he got enlightened, and then he was able to answer all his questions, and then he found the peace and joyfulness in human life. So what exactly is this? Of course, we are not going to talk about Lord Buddha or his preachings, but we are only just taking the clue like, okay, is it possible for human beings to live a very joyful life irrespective of what is happening around? The answer is yes. But many people strongly believe that it is not possible to become happy and joyful when things are not in proper shape. So when you are financially broke, can you be happy? When you are suffering from some kind of serious ailment, can you be happy? When your relationships are broken, can you be happy? Yes, it is possible. It is only a state of mind. And if you look at Ramana Maharshi, who had terrible suffering because of his cancer, he was suffering, but he was joyful. What is this? He is suffering, but he is joyful. He always maintained that kind of joy, eternal joy, some kind of blissfulness. So even for us, ordinary people like us, there is a possibility to be in a state of eternal bliss and joyfulness, provided we have a commitment to be like that. So if we don't have that kind of commitment, and we don't believe that it is not going to happen, then obviously it is not going to happen. Only thing is that you should have this inner conviction that it is possible to be in a state of eternal bliss and joyfulness, because we wrongly associated our joyfulness and happiness to eternal things, external things, things beyond our own consciousness. So you see a car, you feel, okay, if I have this kind of car, Mercedes-Benz car, I'll be very happy. You're attaching your joyfulness and happiness to an entity, an external entity. This is the biggest blunder of human mind. So if you look at everything in your life, you are so conditioned to be happy and joyful if and only if things in the outer world or as per your expectations. The moment things are different from your expectations in your inner world, you'll start having the misery. You'll not see the money that you have. So right now I have got 10 crores with me. 10 crores is a big amount, but my mind has decided upon making 100 crores. So there is a condition, though there is money in my life, I'm not bothered about it. I'm only bothered about things that I expect. So there is a conflict between what I have now and what I should be having now is what is really creating misery and sorrow in human life. Similarly, we expect our close people to live as long as we are alive and we want to live eternal. So this is also an expectation, but something outside is happening. Then you are actually terribly moved and you think that life is not good. So we really don't value what we have, but we start valuing something which is not with us. One of the biggest trait of human behavior is we always tend to undervalue what we have now and what overvalue things what we don't have. This is the biggest behavioral blunder that we do. So always cherish this moment. You have everything. The moment they are not existing with us, then we will understand the importance. Today we all have, luckily, we all have hands and legs, which are powerful instrument in terms of actually doing so much of physical activity. We don't value it. We always say we don't have anything. But the reality is you have so much of value. But by accidentally you lose your limb, then you'll get to understand what the value you have been carrying all through your life. So this is what I mean to say. We always undervalue what we are already having and try to value or value things we don't have. This is nothing but the creation of human mind. Human mind is having this kind of behavioral trait. Why? Why human mind is having this kind of behavioral trait? It is because human beings are gregarious in nature, in the sense human beings, they live in groups. They cannot live in isolation unless the person is above or below these normal levels. So human beings, they always live in groups. So when there is a group, different people perform differently, and that is when the comparison is starting. I versus they is always persisting in our mind. You might be having a lot of money, but the moment somebody else is having something more than what you have, then you will start agitating. The mind will start agitating because it has got an intrinsic quality, trait that it wants to be above other people. An urge for superiority is existing in human mind. So the moment you see somebody doing better, you'll start feeling bad. What is this logic? Isn't it illogical? Somebody is growing, prospering. Why you have to feel bad? You'll start feeling so depressed, thinking that, oh, my life is like this, I'm not happy. That's a wrong thing. Every human being is unique. Everyone has got their own uniqueness. So never compare yourself with other people and feel miserable about it. This is one side of the story, and the other side of the story is you look at people who are lesser than you, in the sense less performing than you, less prosperous than you, and you will start feeling so great, mighty. Yes, I'm big, I'm superior, and you expect them to behave with you in a very humble manner. When you have to behave in a humble manner with the other person, you'll feel so uneasy, you feel so embarrassed. At the same time, you expect people below you to give you a lot of respect and behave so humbly. What is this human mind? Both the hell and heaven exist in human mind, not in different geographical territories. Everything is existing in human mind. So if you know how to channelize, or rather, if you know how to train up your mind, then you will be able to go beyond all these kind of things. So first and foremost thing is why we compare, because we are living in groups. In groups, people have different performances. And if you feel that other person is above you in terms of any kind of assets or values or things, you feel little low. And when you look at other people, you feel little bloated up. So this is the tendency of human mind to compare itself with other. So this is what Jiddu Krishnamurti has written in his book, Mind Without Measure. You can be very happy if you have no expectations. So bring your expectations to the lowest possible level, and then whatever is existing in your life will turn out to be very beautiful things. You are married, you have a wife who is an ordinary looking person, and your expectation is that your wife should be a very beautiful lady. You are expecting. And then every time you have that expectation and every time you're interacting with this lady, you'll be feeling bad. Oh, I did not have a good, beautiful looking life. I just have an ordinary wife. So that is creating hell in your mind. That is also breeding some kind of hatred in your mind about the other lady. And you'll start ill-treating, and that's how the lady will start retaliating. And that is how you're going to have some kind of conflict in the family environment. But if you have no expectation at all, even if she is not looking great, you are happy with her. So what we need to do is, if you want to be really very happy in your life, you need to bring down your expectations to the minimal level. See, at the same time, I'm not actually preaching you or advocating modesty, too much of modesty in life. You need to be ambitious, you need to be think. But only thing is that what I'm actually saying is acceptance of the reality is something which is going to take you to the path of joyfulness. Acceptance of reality. See, we all get pissed off with the behavior of other people in our life, with our father, mother, sister, brother, spouse, children, uncles, aunts. We have so much of enmity with them. Hey, they are being doing like this, doing like that. They are always like this. Yes, you're saying what you're saying is valid. You're not able to tolerate them. But see, just the way as physical beings, we all look distinct. We all have distinct look. There is no one, two people who look exactly alike. Even the twins, they have minor differences, right? So you cannot go to a person and start fighting with that person saying that, how come you're so dark? I don't tolerate this. Change. Or you don't go to a person who is only 4 feet and say, how come you're only 4 feet? You should have been 6 feet. And you start bothering him, saying that why are you not 6 feet? Why your face is like this? You have a very long nose. We have a very ugly lips. Why? Will we go and question anybody? We will never go and question anybody because we accept them. We accept that it is a physical reality. They are like that. We cannot question. We cannot question, why are you dark? Why are you fat? Why are you short? Why are you tall? Why are you fair? We can't question. We simply accept. Okay, that is a reality. Just the way our faces, our physical makeup differ and distinct, same way the inner person is also. Every inner person is unique. Every inner person has his or her own ways of thinking, of behaving, of existing. We are not able to accept the inner person. If you find a person who is very greedy, you'll become angry. What is your problem? If you find a person who is actually in a different kind of mood, like he's always burning with jealousy or he's angry, we are getting affected by that person. Why? In family environment, we say my husband is a toxic guy, my wife is an abusive lady. Yes, because you are actually in a first situation, you are feeling that. But the moment you start accepting that behavior the way it is, then the agitation in your mind will stop. We have to take this point. Just the way we are totally different from other people in our physical makeup, we are also different and distinct in our inner makeup. So you should understand that when people live together for quite longer period, they'll start looking similar. If you look at wife and husbands who have lived together for long, there is some kind of similarity, though there are a lot many sexual related differences in their body, on the face. But after a period of time, you can see that there is some kind of transformation in both the people, both the persons, and they will start looking alike at certain level. So continuous association is actually going to change and it is going to bring some kind of harmony. Similarly, inner personalities will also get affected unconsciously. So if you cannot actually correct the behavior of a person by criticizing, by commenting, by rebuking, you can never do it. It is only going to create more and more of hatred. So you need to wait or keep yourself at a distance, decent distance, so that there is going to be some kind of transformation. Amalgamation will happen. So that is what. So what did we understand? First and foremost thing is that suffering comes from human mind, nothing else. Same situation could be a painful thing for one person and could be a most pleasant situation for another person. So let us take the example of a person who is waiting for a train. So the person is so much worried because he has to reach the destination on time in order to attend some urgent work. So if it is going to get delayed, he is going to lose something. But there is another person who is also waiting for the train, but he's getting so happy because the train is getting delayed. Because by getting the train delayed, he's going to buy some more time. So the more the train time is getting delayed, this person is going to be happy and this person is going to be sad, agitated. Same situation is offering different situations to two different people. Same situation. What is the situation? Train is getting delayed, but it is making one person unhappy. It is making another person happy. So it is all about how we pursue things in our life. Mind, we are actually being guided by our mind. The way we understand this world, this universe, is through the inputs that our five senses are providing to the mind, and mind is the processor. It is processing the information based on the past experiences, based on new beliefs, and everything. Means it has got its own logic, and it is presenting a story. And that story could be a very sweet story to some minds, and it could be a very painful story to other people. So the suffering is nothing but human mind. If you know how to manage your mind, you're going to be a person who can always live in an exalted state of joyfulness and blissfulness. So, after all, if you look at the entire human life, what is that we want in life versus what is that we want from this life means, we know that everything is actually directed to one agenda, that is be happy and joyful. So ask any teenager or anyone who is coming up in life, what do you want? I want to be rich. Why you want to be rich? I can stay without any baggages and I can live a very happy life. That is what they say. Happiness is the end product of everything. Joyfulness is the ultimate destiny for every human endeavor. So, if you can actually get into that state without attaching to anything, what else is required? There are two paths. One is by attaching and then reaching in a very, very irregular manner, or one straightforward method wherein you develop a kind of detachment to the things in the world around, keep your expectations low, accept the reality, and then remain in a state of joyfulness. This is what most of the sadhus, most of the saints, most of the enlightened masters get. They practice this kind of thing. It is nothing but joyfulness is nothing but a habit of human mind. It is a human mind. We know that we people have the habit. We are all almost, even the animals, they have habits. So habits or conditions that condition the mind. One small example. So there is one farmer who used to tie a buffalo to the tree using this thing, rope. It was conditioned to gaze within the radius of that rope and never step, because it knows that even if it tries to go, it will not move beyond that. So after so much of training, even if the farmer fails or forgets to leash the buffalo to the tree, it will never go beyond it. That is the mind. Means that is the conditioning of mind, that is the habit that was inculcated in the mind. Similarly, as human beings, we also have so many habits, mental habits. So there are some people who are continuously in a state of hatred. Just touch them, you will see the fumes of hatred coming from them. Why? It's not that their life is so bad. It's only because they're conditioned to be in such a state. They see fault everywhere, in everything. And then they'll start saying, what is this life? My life is like this. I hate my life. I hate myself. I hate people around me. I hate my country. So that is the habit of that particular human mind. Then there are some people who are continuously crying, saying that, oh God, my life is not good, my life is not good. Why only for me they keep doing it? Because in their life, they have encountered, at some point in time, they have encountered some distressful situations, and that situation, those experiences have actually created grooves in the mind, so they are lingering, hovering over those grooves. It is a habit, mental habit. It is a mental habit, right? So you know that anger can be become a habit. Depression could be a habit. Hatred can be a habit. So when these can be habits, the other things can also become our mental habits. You can start jumping in joy if you get a mental habit of being joyful, even though there is no reason for you to be joyful. So, this is something which we can do by practice. Every day we can practice being joyful. Practice makes man perfect. Create a habit, a mental groove where you can actually persist for longer periods of time. Even if bad things are happening, you will be unmoved because your mind is habituated, it is addicted to joyfulness. So it is very much possible. Only thing is that we need to have commitment and we need to practice. So even if adverse situation is happening, you can just laugh it off, saying that, oh, this is a silly, stupid thing. Let it go, because nothing is going to remain permanently in your life. Things have to change. It's like you're in a moving train, you're moving. And as you're moving, the world around is also moving. You can find trees, mountains, rivers, everything moving, moving, moving. You're also in it, the ship of life. You're also in a train of life where it is moving, whether you like it or not. And you're actually looking at the world through the windows of your life. Everything is changing. Good things change, bad things change, everything is change. Change is the constant thing. So you know how to respond to these changes. You be a passive observer. You're not going to get entangled to things that are bad, things which are good. You are just enjoying the ride of life, the journey of life. See, the objective of your life should be to enjoy every moment of your life throughout the journey of your life. So be the captain of your own ship. Take charge. Don't give the power, the remote control to people around you. The stupidest thing that we human beings, most of us, we do is we give the power that we have to other people and ask them to operate. We ask them to operate. We don't want to use our power. We want other people to operate on our behalf. So they have the remote control of our life situation. Whenever they want to make you happy, they'll press one button and you'll become happy. And whenever they want to actually preach you a lesson, they'll start another button and you'll start acting accordingly. So you have become a puppet in the hands of the world around you, because though you have got the power, your power is actually vested in the hands of other people. You have given the remote control of your life to other people and you're asking them to operate, and they're operating left and right. When whatever they want, they were operating. Sometimes they can make you feel good. Sometimes they can make you feel bad. So your life is at the mercy of other people in your life. So if you want to be really happy and joyful in your life, what is that you need to do? You need to take back the power that you have given to other people. Take back. Take back the remote control that you have given to other people, other situations, external events, and just keep it with yourself. And you being the owner of your own life, you are more responsible in terms of actually operating your own remote control of your life. So the final agenda of life is, it's about maximization of pleasure and minimization of pain. Since you're the captain, the pilot of your own flight of life, you're very cautious. You know, you don't want to land up in a crash. You want to. You want to have a joyful ride. So you will not press buttons which are dangerous. You will not touch those control buttons which are painful, which will lead to pain. Instead, you will only operate your vehicle of life very cautiously, handling only those things which will result in joyfulness and happiness. So take back the power that you have given to other people and be the architect, the author of your own life story. We have the power. We have that power, I'm telling you. So what all we talked, first and foremost thing is sorrow. Mind is the breeding ground for our happiness or sorrow. So by managing the mind properly, we can manage our happiness and joyfulness in life. We have to accept the reality as it is without agitating. Okay? Just the way we are distinct at our physical level, we are also different and distinct from other people in our inner makeup. So don't expect other people to behave the way you want them to behave. They will behave the way they are behaving. Unless you are a dictator, unless you are a strong, what do you call, someone who is actually being so harsh on other people and getting things done. You don't change the person. Accept the person as it is. Your reaction, your response to their behavior should be moderated by your own intellect. Your emotions should be controlled by yourself. Nobody is going to control. Acceptance of reality is also another thing. And then we talked about what we talked now, just now. Anybody?
Don't
What
allow yourself to be controlled by others.
the power that you have should
So,
not be in the hands of other people. You should operate your own flight of life. Be the captain, be responsible. Use your power to operate the flight of life. Okay. So this
you
is,
can you can make or mar your happiness.
yes, right. So this was the introduction I've given. Now, when was the last time when you're so happy and joyful and relaxed? So it was only during our childhood. Most of the people, they say that, oh, life during childhood is fantastic. Because those days, life is a matter of playfulness. We used to be so playful. But as we are growing up, we lost playfulness in us and instead we became serious, more and more serious, stern. That is actually ruining our mind, mental peace, and happiness. So be joyful and playful. The moment you start being playful in life, like cracking jokes with your own family members, doing simple, stupid things, dancing, singing, you become relaxed. You become relaxed. When you are relaxed, your inner energies will start flowing out, and then you will get creative solutions for most of the life problems that you're having. So just imagine that this is nothing but just a drama of life. You're playing a small character in this gigantic drama of life, and you are only acting, you're not living. It is a play. Be playful. So when and what gave you the happiness? What gave you the happiness? See, most of these situations, it is the fulfillment of our expectation is what really gives us happiness. So can we expect all of dreams and desires to be manifested every time 100%? No. So on an average, 40 to 50% of our dreams and desires materialize. The rest of them, they don't materialize. It's not that they cannot be. It is only that it is again a different subject, the art and science of manifestation. How to manifest your dreams and desires into physical reality is a different subject. So if you're thoroughly trained in the subject and if you practice this subject life, you can actually fulfill most of your dreams and desires. But that's not the case. No, not everybody is going to get trained. Not everybody is going to perfectly practice to reach the stage of perfection where you can manifest everything spontaneously. Till that time, life is a matter of jerks. Sometimes you go up, sometimes you go down, sometimes you go down, sometimes you go up. It's a jerky journey, like when you're actually moving in a flight during a turbulent weather, you are actually having a jumping, jerky, bumping ride, which is really painful, scary. So you want to have a smooth sail, but the situation is not like that. So this is one approach where you can actually derive joy and happiness through fulfillment of your dreams and desires. And the other path is detach happiness, detach joyfulness from situations, people, circumstances. When you, how you can detach? You can detach by practicing zero expectation. Drop down all your expectation. Today, you're going out, you expect a cool weather, cloudy weather, where you can actually walk peacefully for 2, 3 kilometers. You want a cloudy weather, but the moment you stepped out of your house, you find a very hot, sunny day. The moment you all go out, you start feeling agitating because the expectation is clashing. If you think, okay, it's okay, even if it is shining, even if it is a hot day, no problem, you have brought down the expectation down. And accordingly, you are preparing, okay, if there is a hot sunlight, I'll carry an umbrella so I protect myself. So you are prepared, you're actually carrying an umbrella and you're moving. So your happiness is no way disturbed because the expectation is brought down. So there are different techniques where we can actually uh, move or rather take our flight of life in a very smooth path without undergoing any kind of turbulent jerks. So in this workshop, we are going to talk about these things. So as I told you in the previous session, 3 pillars of life would be money, health, and love. So if there is a lack in any of these things, obviously life is going to be a little disturbed. So how we can actually manage these things? So we should understand that as human beings, we have certain cravings, inner cravings. It is not the physical cravings, it is the inner craving. You want to have a house, that is a physical need, requirement. Why? Because you cannot sleep on road, you cannot eat on road, you cannot live under the tree, because life is at a threat, because you can be subjected to harsh weather conditions. So you need a cozy environment, you need a house. So that's a physical need. But this physical need can transform itself into a psychological or inner need. You want a house which is better than your neighbor, isn't it? We always want our house to be better and bigger than other people in our life. So that is a craving, inner craving. That is the craving of the inner person, not the physical. Physical, the need is satisfied. The moment you have a hut, you are protected. The moment you have a concrete house, you are in a comfort zone. But you are not confined to that level. Your needs are going deeper into the inner self. These are the cravings that we have. So such cravings are the urge for survival. We all want to live longer unless we want to have a short life by committing suicide. We all want to live to the extent possible. Ask anybody, even a person who is about to die due to illness, they want to live for longer time. Given a chance, choice, they'll say, give me some more time to live. So there is an urge for inner survival. So whenever the survival is a threat, we undergo, it triggers a chain of negative emotions. Whenever there is a challenge to the urge for survival, a chain of negative emotions are unleashed: fear, anger, grief, sorrow, isn't it? Yes. Similarly, we all have urge for comfort. We have urge for eternity. Everybody should remember us. Our generations together, they should know about us. The urge for expression, everybody has this urge at a very high level. Means everybody wants to express. Even the newborn baby wants to express. Even the dying person wants to express. There is no exception at all. Everybody has the urge for expression. Everybody has an urge for experience. You want to, everything in life is nothing but an experience. We want to experience all good things in life. We want to eat ice creams. We want to dance. We want to eat in the best place. We want to have a good house. We want to have a good car. All these things are nothing but experiences. We want to, though we know that everything is like that, we want to experience. People say, don't get married, married life, it can actually kill you. People say, but people will not accept. No, 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 I will marry. Because they want to experience it. So there is an inherent urge for experience. Similarly, there is an urge for expansion. You want to grow. You want to grow. Your money should grow. Your property should grow. Your progeny should grow. Everything should expand. That is a fundamental urge. And we also have the urge for recognition. Whenever we are doing, everybody should see us and say, wow, wow, wow. The moment somebody says, wow, your chest gets expanded, means that is the motivation for you to actually grow. There is a strong urge for recognition. Everybody should recognize our body. They should say, hey, you look so handsome. Hey, you look so tall. You look very graceful. You're rich. You're powerful. You have a lot of money. You have this thing, that thing. So there is an urge for recognition. And also, there is a strong urge to control. Everybody wants to control every other thing. Given a chance, everybody wants to control. There is a strong urge in human beings to control things around. And this urge to control has gone to such an extent that the human mind wants to control even the nature. And whatever we are witnessing, it is nothing but the expression or rather the urge for control. Whether we want to control the weather, so we started controlling. We know how to bring in artificial rains. Like that, there are so many positive aspects of this urge for control, but in between the family, within the family, there is an urge for control. Husband wants to control wife, wife wants to control husband, children wants to control parents, parents wants to control children, cousins wants to control us, friends wants to control us. Everything, this urge is universal. Everybody is trying to control every other body. This is one of the fundamental human law. In this world, everybody wants to control every other person in their life. So this is an urge for superiority. Yes, I'm bigger, better, smarter than you. There is an urge. So all these urges, the inherent urges, they only lead to negative emotions when they are not fulfilled. This is the fundamental thing you need to understand. It is not about correcting the outer world to get inner happiness. This is what is real inner engineering. What is the degree of these urges? So the urge for survival, is it 100%, 10%, 30%, 50%? Is the urge for comfort 100% or 50% or this thing? Urge for control, how is it? So these are all the parameters, vital parameters that we need to actually look into our life. So whenever the pilot gets into the flight, he will not start the engine and start going away. First and foremost thing is that he actually looks at various parameters and he tries to correct them, optimize them. Only when everything is in optimal condition, he takes off. Similarly, in our life, these are the urges which are ruining our happiness. These are the things which are actually creating hell for us. There is no external hell. It is only an internal hell. And the hell is actually linked up to these things. When these urges are not getting fulfilled, we all tend to become angry. We all tend to become sad, frustrated, hatred, all kind of negativity is actually emerging from these inner cravings. So what we can do to liberate ourselves from the suffering in life, what we have to do is not correcting the external world. By buying a car, you're not going to have an eternal blissfulness. By building a house, you're not going to gain that kind of sthiti or situation. Only by correcting these urges, to a certain degree, they are reason to a certain reasonable level, they are okay. We need to have these urges. But beyond this, it is going to create a lot of pain, not only for yourself, but for people in your life. If you have a strong urge for control, let us say that this parameter is at 100. So what will be your behavior? Every time in every human encounter, you're trying to be bossy. You're going to dictate. You're going to say, no, it should happen like this only. Because you feel good by doing it. But it is going to create a lot of negativity in other people. Like best example is dictators like what you call Napoleon or Hitler. They have a strong urge for controlling not only their family members but also entire world. And for their urge for control, what has happened? The entire world has suffered. Lakhs of people died, innocent people died because of a stupid urge for control by a stupid who could not live beyond 100 years. He thought he is going to create a world, he thought he is going to be eternal, and he started misbehaving, and there is a catastrophe which has resulted from his urge. Urge for superiority. What is this? Nazis? We are superior to other people. In what way they are superior? They might be looking a little taller, they might be looking a little handsome or beautiful, but how are they superior? Are they really superior to people in Africa who look exactly opposite, or to Indians who are not that physically so great? They claim, Nazis claim that, okay, we have superior blade, we are great, but isn't it foolishness? Did they have two hearts instead of one heart? Okay, we all have one heart. So this heart fails, we all die. Does it mean Nazis are having two hearts? Okay, even if one heart is failing, another heart is there. So with this another heart, they can live for another 100 years. So totally they are living for 200 years. Then we can say that definitely you are superior, genetically you are superior. But in reality, even they have only one heart. So from where this stupid concept of superiority is emerging, though we are dictating these things, though we are criticizing Hitler and the Nazi race for their superiority complex, in our life also we have this urge, and we are actually displaying this superiority complex in every moment, in every situation, whenever we are getting a situation. So before we expect other people to do, we should also practice that. So bring down your urge for superiority to the minimum level, minimum decent level. Bring down your urge for control to the minimum level. Other people are as unique as you are. Other people also have the same expression, same kind of urge for expression. Then where is your superiority? Why you want to control other people? If you really want to be very happy in your life, stop controlling other people. Accept whatever they say with a simple smile. Don't react negatively to a negative person. Don't try to correct him. So if you want to be happy and joyful in your life, bring down your urge for superiority to the minimum level, ground level. Minimize your urge for control to the minimum level, where you will not make a futile attempt to control people in your life. Bring down your urge for recognition. It's okay. You don't need other people to cheer you up to perform your basic things. When you're eating, somebody should come and say, hey, superb, superb. You're eating good, good, the way we do to our kids, babies. When baby eats, we say, hey, superb, superb, and baby feels so joyful, and poor baby, it will gulp even if it doesn't want to gulp. So that is the recognition urge. So for doing our own work, we need other people to come and appreciate us to what extent it is required. You are making money for yourself. And if somebody come and say, oh, you're making a lot of money, your chest is expanding. Why you need that? Bring down your urge for recognition to a minimum level. Similarly, as a human being, we have so many limitations. We cannot as human beings, our consumption level is quite limited, right? Even if you have a lot of money, you can stay only in one room at any given point in time. Even if you have a lot of food to eat, you can eat only as much as your stomach permits. That is the limitation of consumption. So we have worked hard and we have actually made a lot of money. With that money, we have created a lot of property and assets. You are expanding and your urge for expansion is not stopping. You want to make it more. This urge for expansion is actually ruining your life's happiness. So, as I told you earlier, I already have 10 crores, but my urge is for 100 crores. Till the time I reach that 100 crore level, I'll be having frustration, I'll be agitating, I'll be having some kind of sense of failure. It is not a positive feeling. I'm feeling so depressed because I'm not able to make as much as I want. It is nothing but your urge for expansion, which is let loose. So you cannot be happy if your urge for expansion is too much. So bring it down to the normal level. And then urge for experience similarly. Bring it down. You want to experience everything in life. You want to experience life of that people, those people, these people, everything. You want to go to Paris. You want to go to Tokyo. You want to go to XYZ. You want to buy this. You want to buy that. You want to get into relationship with into extramarital relationship. You want to have this thing. So many experiences you're craving. Your inner being is craving. Tell your inner being, Baba, hold on. Enjoy what is around you. Don't go for such kind of devilish urge. Be moderate. As human beings, we are limited. Our time is limited. Even if we try our best, we can't reach 100 years of life with certain exceptions. So within this short span of 100 years, in the gigantic stretches of time, how much experience can you really crave for and really have? So bring down the urge for expression to the minimum, to the minimum, to the minimum level. Then you will be very happy. Similarly, urge for expression. You want to express, somebody says stupid, don't express. You get hurt, offended. Of course, within the sphere of decent limits, you can express, but not have a strong urge for expression. It will only create more and more of complex situations. So bring it down. So eternity, comfort, survival. So these are all the control buttons on the dashboard of your life. If you want to have a smooth sail of your flight of life, what you need to do is you need to optimize your control panels before you take off your flight. So as a pilot, you're not alone in the flight. You might be alone in the cockpit, but not in the flight. There are some passengers sitting in your flight. Those passengers are none other than your own family members, your friends, your relatives, and your colleagues and other people in your life. So, can everybody please mute the mic? It's a request, please. Mute the mics. Yeah. So, by a careless, rash, unprepared, untrained journey, you're risking not only your own life, but also your own passengers, that is, your family members, friends, relatives, colleagues, and other people in and around your life. So, if you're careful, if you're responsible, and you take the charge of your life, you will ensure that all these control buttons are at optimal level every day. It's not that the pilot will check the buttons or the factors or the controlling parameters just once at the start of his journey on the first day of flight and do the journey rest of the life. No. Every time he touches, every time he gets into the cockpit, every day, within the day, multiple times before takeoff, he checks, he checks. Similarly, even we in our life, if we want to be very happy today, this moment, ensure that all these things are brought to the optimal level. Only then you can expect. So we say, okay, life is unpredictable. Yes, every day is a gift. We don't know when that gift will be grabbed off. I'm talking to you. Maybe next moment I might die. It's a possibility. So the gift is withdrawn. Time is the biggest gift that God has given us. So to protect that gift, the beauty of that gift, we need to hold it properly. So every day is providing infinite opportunities for creating a betterment or rather a better version of yourself. How do you create a better version of yourself? By controlling these parameters. So till now, you're a person with lot of security complex, with lot of egoistic behavior, urge to control. Now today, understand how small you are, how moderate you are. Then you say, let me bring down my ego level. Till now, you are misbehaving with your mate. Whenever she is doing something, you are chasing that maid and you're actually blasting her left and right, saying that you're not doing this, you're not up to my expectation, like that. But if you change yourself, saying that today I will not hurt anybody, today I will not try to control anybody, today I will not crave for any things, I will live in a peaceful manner. Just make that kind of decision every day, and every day is going to be a heaven. Because people in your life, they are reacting to your behavior. It's a chain. You might say, no, I am reacting to that behavior. Yes, but you should take charge of the situation and then you should stop reacting. After you stop reacting, even the reactions from other people in your life will also start slowly reducing, and finally disappear. Because the moment you stop reacting to other people, they feel powerless. They will be engulfed with a sense of powerlessness. They think there is no point in doing this to him. He will not respond, he'll just ignore. And then the what you call the momentum of actions, reactions, chain of this thing, that thing will slowly subside, and peace is going to engulf the moment or the situation or the minds. So, to be happy in joyfulness, you don't have to make a single correction to the outer world. Make an inner correction, make the inner engineering, change your own ways and means of doing all these things. What do you say? It is possible. So, as I told you, any moment, hour, urges, inner urges are not fulfilled, our emotional states are going to change. Our emotions are never the same. It is continuously shifting from one state to the other, one state to the other, one state to the other. So there is a continuous activity in our emotions. So by nature, man is a being of peace and calmness. In the absence of external stimulus, in the absence of negative thinking, the mind is at a state of rest. A deep sense of peace is engulfed in a mind in a natural state. Means the natural state of human mind is peace. There is no excess pleasure, there is no excess pain. Pain and pleasure are balancing each other, and that state is what is known as peace. There is no pain, there is no pleasure. You are in a state of deep calmness. That is the natural state of human mind. By virtue of its interaction with the external world, as I told you, giving power or remote control to the people, because of our interaction with the other people in our life, our emotional state is actually undergoing different states. Sometimes we become anxious, sometimes we are filled with love, sometimes we are filled with contempt, sometimes we are filled with pride, sometimes we go down, swing with shame, and sometimes we burn with envy, sometimes we become enraged with anger, sometimes we're gulfed with fear, sometimes we feel so disgusted, and sometimes we are happy, sometimes we are sad, sometimes we are surprised. So these are the kind of things that are continuously happening. So the more negative emotions you're having, the more pain you have in your life. So as a sensible human being, what we can do, we can make it that we spend most of our time in positive emotions. Positive emotion starts with peace. Peace is the doorway for the chambers of positive emotions. Peace, happiness, joyfulness, blissfulness, ecstasy. These are the things, love. Peace is the chamber, the entry point for the chamber of joyful, positive emotions. So, how we can enter into this? It is only by neutralizing your negative emotions. How we can do it? It is again a matter of our choice. So, mind without measure, I have already talked about mind without measure. What is this mind and what is this measure? We all live, our consciousness actually dwells in two chambers. One is the inner world, which is your own world, where nobody, not even your spouse, not in your children, nobody can peek into it. They can have slight glimpses of it, but they really don't have anything in it. They can't penetrate into it. So all your beliefs, all your desires, all your cravings are all part of your inner world. And the outer world is something which is actually brought into our consciousness by the five senses, processed by mind. This is the outer world. In the outer world, I have laptops, I have Zoom meeting going on, I have these things, that things, these are the external things. Even if you come, you can see. So outer world is something which can be shared with other people, whereas inner world is something which is within us. Okay, so within the inner world, we have some expectations. But outer world is having something different. Whenever there is a conflict between inner world and the outer world, what is going to happen? There is going to be conflict. There is going to be an agitation. So when there is an agitation, it can lead to any of the negative emotion that we talked about: fear, anger, hatred, these kind of things. But what if you remove everything in your inner world? Means you're not having any expectation, you're bringing all the expectation to zero level. So whatever is appearing in the outer world, we will enjoy it. That's the reason why kids, babies, they enjoy life. They enjoy everything that exists in the outer world because they don't have any expectation saying that, okay, it should be like this only. In our case, we are actually comparing with our expectation, measuring up with outer reality and feeling bad. So mind without measure is one surest way where you can actually get closer to the chambers of joyfulness in life. So drop, minimize all your expectations and get liberated from the struggles of life. Okay, whatever it is fine. If I want to become the chief minister, and if I'm not the chief minister, I'm continuously feeling bad. Oh God, I'm not the chief minister. I'm not the manager. I'm not the programmer. I'm not this thing. I don't have this thing. So, how you can become joyful in life? By minimizing the expectations and accepting the reality. So again, we talked about this concept, the soul and the ego. So soul and ego are nothing but the two extreme ends of the same pole, that is the spirit. So on one side, we have the ego, which is closely associated with the physical body. Because of its close association with the physical body, it tends to develop the qualities of physical body, qualities of physical body. The other end and the exact opposite side is the soul. The behavior of soul and the behavior of ego are totally different. Soul is reeling under a sense of fear. All negative emotions that we talked about are the characteristics of ego. Whereas all the positive emotions that we talked about are the qualities of the soul. So, if you are a soul, if you are operating, everything depends on the operation point of view. Are you operating from the point of your ego, or are you operating from the point of your soul? So if you are operating from the point of ego, you can become angry, you can start hating people, you can start hurting people, you can start hurting yourself, you can start indulging in self-pity, depression, frustration, you can indulge in fear, like that. All the host of negative emotions are ruled by your ego. So you can check yourself during your lifetime, during day-to-day life. How many times you're operating from your ego perspective? How many times you're operating from your soul? If you're operating from the perspective of your soul, your behavior will be totally different. Because you operate from a higher perspective of love, compassion, kindness, joyfulness. You cannot hurt anybody. You can never say, no, I don't help people. I don't. Because soul is universal. So if you really want to transform your life, if you want to really breed joyfulness and happiness in your life, make a paradigm shift from the perspective or from the point of egoism to the point of soul. Only this transformation can really bring in joy in your life. Not the cars, not the buildings, not the people, not the situations. Your only transition from the perspective of your ego to soul is what is really going to bring in the transformation in your life. So that is about soul versus ego. Now, first thing we talked about is mind without measure. Bring down your expectations and accept everything as it is. It is breeding joyfulness and happiness in your life. Similarly, make a paradigm shift from the perspective of ego to the soul. There you're going to have a permanent transformation in your life. All the sages, all the holy men, all the great gurus, They operate from the perspective of soul, not from the perspective of ego. Of course, fake Babas, Babajis, they operate only from their perspective of ego. But rest of the people, rest of the gurus, genuine gurus, they moved from ego perspective to soul perspective. Similarly, we can do it. It's a possibility. So, if you are hell bent upon making joyfulness a reality in your life, make this point, meet this point. So earlier we were talking about the concept of Maya, which was actually propounded by Adi Shankaracharya in his Advaita philosophy. There he says that everything is just an illusion. What we think is reality is not the real reality. We are in some kind of illusion. We are in some kind of what we call projected virtual reality, 3D reality. It's like a movie that is happening in our life. We are the characters in this movie. Shakespeare has already acknowledged it. He said, life is nothing but a stage of drama where we are all artists. Adi Shankaracharya also said the same thing. He said everything is just an illusion created by this Maya. Maya is an iron curtain in which we are all living. There is no light. It's only an illusion that we are doing. So when it is an illusion, why we have to take everything so serious in our life? My husband is abusive. It's an illusion. My wife is torturing. It's an illusion. My son is not listening. It's also an illusion. My son himself is an illusion. Wife itself is an illusion. My myself is an illusion. Everything is an illusion. So why take things so serious? So during movies, when people are actually playing different characters, after they stop acting that, they become normal people and they do normal work. Sound కొంచెం తగ్గించండి mobile sound package. So we should understand that this is nothing but a projected reality, and this point, which was actually given by Adi Shankaracharya, is validated by the quantum physicist of modern day. Today, quantum physics, it actually propounds the same thing. They say that this is the illusion that is created by the five senses, and it is actually processed by the mind, and we think everything is happening real. Since we are thinking that it is real, we are getting negatively affected by negative situations. All the negative emotions are coming because you're taking serious life as a very serious matter. You should understand that we live in different states. We have a dream state, we have a wakeful state. These are the predominant states within which we oscillate. When we are sleeping, we enter into a dream world. When we enter into a dream world, all the physical realities like your mattress, your bed, your spouse sleeping next to you, your mobile phone, everything is vanishing. Your house is vanishing. Your body itself is vanishing when you're in a deep state of sleep. Isn't it? So what is happening to the so-called reality when you're sleeping in your dream state? It is vanishing. So after your death, what is going to happen? Everything is going to vanish. Similarly, when you're in a dream state, what is happening? Whatever dream, vivid dreams you're getting, you think it is really happening. You will never think, oh, it's just a dream. When you're in a dream, that is the only reality which you are experiencing. Who is experiencing it? It is your consciousness. When you are sleeping, your eyes are closed, the lights are off, no light is entering, but from where are you seeing things? You're able to see everything, you're able to experience everything, you're able to touch everything in your dream. There is no light. All your sensory organs are partially switched off, turned off. Where? So after you wake up from dream, you say, oh, it's just a dream. It could be a nightmare, it could be a beautiful sweet dream, but it is just a dream which doesn't have permanent existence. Similarly, the reality, the so-called reality that we are experiencing in this wakeful state is also an illusion, a play of mind. Mind is creating all these things. So when it is such a simple illusion, why we have to be affected so much by it? Isn't it foolish? In dream, somebody dies, you cry during the dream, you wake up and find, oh, it's just a dream, the person is alive. Similarly, if something is happening, this is also a momentary thing. It is not a permanent thing. It is also an experience, but a bigger or a better kind of experience. So we think this is the reality. So if you want to be really happy in your life, don't get entangled to situations very seriously. Now let's all play a game. In this game, I'll play the role of Gautama Buddha, and you play different roles during those times. So we do this for half an hour. We get involved in the role. I become so much engrossed in the role of Buddha, and I start behaving like Buddha. I start doing preachings and all these things. And when we say, okay, enough of this drama, we'll drop the role of Buddha and I'll become Srinivas. Like that, it is a dream, an illusion. So don't take things very seriously in your life. Detach yourself from the drama of life to get rid of pain in your life. We're all artists. Remember this. Remember this throughout your life and operate with the same intensity for you to live a very happy and joyful life. Otherwise, it is not possible. You cannot create a beautiful life, a joyful life by buying cars, by buying this, that thing that is momentary. Okay. So I covered this point. Use your inner power to change your outer reality. So I told you, we have already given off our power to the external world. We have given the power to people. We have given the power to the situations and circumstances, to things. And we are folding our hands and standing at the mercy of the outer world. So whenever someone in the outer world wants to see you happy, they'll make you happy. Somebody wants to see you angry, they'll make you angry. Somebody wants to see you dancing, they'll make it. Means you have given up all the power. You're like a puppet, a string. Somebody is actually pulling the strings and you're dancing to the tunes of their agendas. Why is it really necessary? Take back the power that you have given to them. And you should actually use your inner power to create a life of your choice. So basically, you can find 4 stages in this. In the first stage, you're completely in the mercy of other people. So during your life, you're continuously interacting with the external world. So somebody does something good, your inner world is filled with happiness. It is actually transforming itself into a paradise. But somebody comes and says something bad, your paradise is collapsing into a hell. We are oscillating between hell and heaven due to our interaction with the outer world. So this is the first stage where every one of us dwell. When we move to the second stage, we actually tend to build some kind of filters which will allow only the positive signals to come into your inner world while deflecting negative signals from entering into your inner world. So somebody comes and says something bad, you put a mental block saying that I don't need this, get lost. So it is totally ignored. Somebody comes and says, you look like a buffoon. You say, okay, get lost. I don't care. I know what I am. I don't value your words. I don't value your judgment. I know what I am. This is nothing but putting a curtain. You're filtering off. So that negative input is not changing your inner world. This is stage 2. And then in stage 3, you further put some more filters wherein you're not allowing even the positive signals to come into your inner world. Means you don't need external support to know your value. You don't need external motivation for you to actually express and expand in your life. You don't need it, right? So in that state, even if something happening outside your world, your inner world, you're not affected by it. So when you're going, suddenly you come across an accident. Some motorbike hit something and his body is damaged. To what extent you will get affected? If you are a very kind person, you will feel sorry for that person, you will try to help him. If you are a neutral person, you just look and you say, these guys, they are careless guys, and you brush it off. And if you are furthermore detached, you will not even look at it, you just go off. Means it has least affected your inner world. But if on the other hand, if you are a very person who is responding to the outer world, the moment you see this accident, it will trigger a chain of thoughts and emotions. Immediately you'll start thinking, oh God, the roads are so dangerous. My people, they're going to so-and-so place by this car. Maybe they will also have this kind of problem. Immediately you call up and say, are you all safe? And you say, driver, don't drive fast. And then you still keep remembering all the negative things that have happened in life, and you will enter into a negative zone. Here, what is happening? You have actually allowed a negative signal to enter into your inner zone. Just by deflecting it, you're actually keeping yourself composed. You're not allowing things to come and change you. This is what is known as sang-froid, means stita prajnata, wherein you're not getting affected by anything. You're on your own. This is the perfect stage where we all should aspire to move. Irrespective of our age, we all should have this aspiration that we should reach level 3, minimum in our life. I said minimum in our life, level 3. And level 4 is something, where it is just the exact opposite of level 1. In level 1, all the entities in your inner world are changing. Sorry, all the entities in your external world are changing the state of Brad. So what is happening? Things in the external world are controlling you because you have given your power to other people. But in level 4, what you need to do is take back all the power that you have given to other people and then start exercising your power. The moment you start expressing your own inner power, with the power, you're going to change the world around you. The light that emanates from your inner world, from your inner power, is going to dispel the darkness that existed in your external world. So, using your inner power, you're going to change the outer world. That is how you are going to create a life of your choice. You need to grow to this level. You have that power. You have the power to create heaven, not only for yourself, but also people in your external world. You have the power. So if somebody, negative person comes, he should not affect you negatively and adversely. Instead, you should affect him positively. in a very positive manner. So negative person comes, his wickedness, his negativity should melt in the presence of the heat and light of your personality. Negative people should get transformed because of your association. Since they are coming into your vicinity, you're going to use your power to change the negativity of that person and make the person into a positive person. Just imagine if we all start doing this, if we all start making people in our external world a positive person, can negativity exist on this planet Earth? We can create paradise on planet Earth. We have that power, but it should start from us. It should start from us. It should not start with you do first, you do first. Many people, you jump first, you do this, I will do that later. So this is also transferring of power. I will transform and I will change the world. That should be the leadership quality. We all should transform ourselves into strong spiritual leaders to make this place, the planet Earth, into a better place to be. That should be the agenda of our life. We have that power and we can really make it happen. And the most important thing is you should understand that whatever reality is nothing but a fabrication of our own thoughts and feelings. The thoughts and feelings that we indulged in during the past have created our current moment. If we are suffering now, it is because we have indulged in some kind of thoughts and feelings in the past, which are actually giving birth to this moment. Similarly, whatever thoughts we are having now and the feelings that we are feeling are actually breeding our future. The past, the present, and the future are interconnected. They're not discrete, it's a continuous flow. The streams of the past are actually creating the streams of the present moment, and the present moment streams are creating the streams of the future. So it is your responsibility. Nobody is coming and say you live like this. Nobody is dictating anything saying that you have to live like this, you have to be like this. Take the responsibility. Take the power that you are born with and then start indulging in positive thoughts and feelings. The moment you start thinking positive, the doors of positiveness in your life will start opening up. You want to open the doors of your negativity or you want to open the doors of positivity? Your current thought is holding the key. With the thoughts that you're generating now, with the thoughts that you're breeding now and in future, and with the thoughts that you're bred in the past, the reality of life is getting fabricated. Nothing else. No God, nothing, nothing, nothing. Your thoughts and your feelings. It is a responsibility, your responsibility. I cannot control your thoughts. Your thoughts are your own property. Thoughts and feelings are associated, emotions are associated. So you have the power to create. God has given us the power to create. And the kitchen is our thoughts and our feelings. What we cook is our choice. We can cook a beautiful dish or you can cook a horrible dish. It's all in your hands. Okay, this is about the reality. Okay, before we go to the next chapter session, we will take break for today because it is already 12:34. Yeah. So, I now would like you all to quickly recap what you have learned from today's session, one by one. What is the most important thing that you have understood from my lecture? One by one.
Namaste, sir.
Yes, please.
The thing I like the most today is we value things that we don't have and undervalue things that we have.
Right.
It is really striking, and I think most of our problems can be solved if we realize the blessings that we have.
Perfect.
Yes.
Perfect. It's a good point.
Very nice
Expectation. Next,
question. Yeah.
Ramanji, please.
expectation. Expectation is the cause of all the problems.
Right.
We expect, we compare. We
Yes.
live for tomorrow. We don't live for today.
Right.
We expect tomorrow will be better. And
Right.
forget today and ignore today.
Right.
Expectation
Present
is
is
a
really
serious crime.
present of God.
Serious crime, I think, against your own self.
Yes, yes, right. Thank you so much.
Acceptance will give more peace, sir. We have to accept things and people as they are.
Right. Perfect. Perfect. Yes. Acceptance, reality.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yes.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yes, good
Kaladevi,
afternoon.
Kaladevi here. Sir, I like the most is what I am experiencing. I am giving control to others to control me. That is
Right.
what main thing I think. So giving control to others to monitor us is the major disadvantage of being happy.
Perfect. Perfect. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
And also the suffering that we are undergoing today is our own doing, because in the past probably we have made some mistakes, or our thought process, we have created a thought process like that, which is affecting our lives now. So
Perfect.
that
Yes.
is
Thank you. Thank you.
yes, sir.
And operate from your soul, not from ego.
Yes. Perfect. Yes. Yeah, that solves most of the problems. 99.99 problems can be solved the moment we take this shift from ego perspective to the soul perspective. Yes, thank you so much.
Live with detachment, attachment with detachment.
Yes, yes, right. Perfect, perfect. Yeah, anybody else, please?
You
And
got
to-
desire to experience and expansion, but
Yes, that is also one issue.
block
Right,
for our happiness.
right.
And peace is the entry point of joyful emotions.
Yes, yes. Yeah, it is the perfect balancing point, peace.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, this is Kennedy. I joined a bit late, but what struck me much was if only we can control our inner world, we can
Yeah,
control our outer
right,
world too.
right.
What is more important is controlling our inner world, because it's very
Yes,
difficult to
that is,
control
yeah,
outside.
that's really a good
Yes.
point, right?
Yeah.
Like if you can actually change your inner world, you
Mm.
can do anything like.
Yes. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, thank you.
A normal state of human being is peace. They are
Right.
only spoiling it.
Right. Perfect, perfect. Yeah, any questions? Any doubts that you have? We still have got another 10 minutes to discuss. So anything that might have caught your attention but could not get the required clarity, any issue such
What is
like
what is the simple formula for avoiding expectation?
pardon?
Hello.
What is the
Ah,
simple
sorry,
way
sir.
by which we can avoid expectation?
Expectation.
Expectation.
Our workshop sir.
Okay.
Please.
The simplest thing is expectation. Yes, expectation is part of human life. It is only through detachment that we can actually reach a state of minimizing the expectation. So as long as you're totally involved in the drama of life, expectations will not stop. You should see drama you should see life as a drama. In dreams, most of the time, we don't have expectations. We are only witnessing the dreams. As a silent spectator, as a silent observer, we are only watching the dream happening. We are not trying to control the dream. If you can recall most of the dreams, there you are actually sitting as a passive spectator and observing the flow of dream. You're not expecting anything. It is happening. Because your level of involvement in dream is not as strong as the level of your involvement in the so-called physical world. So that is the reason the moment you start detaching yourself from the drama of life, expectations will not flow. So that is what it is. Did I make sense to you, Ramanji?
Yes, sir, I agree. But then how shall we contribute to the progress of the society, world, and all that?
See, basically, I was actually talking about balancing it. Means beyond, not going beyond proportions. So expectations, you can have so many expectations versus very few expectations. You have to make a balance. It's not that either yes or no. It is not a binary state that I was talking about. I was only talking about the degree of expectations.
Oh.
Sometimes we have higher degree of expectation. Sometimes we bring that expectation level to zero because we have accepted the reality. The moment you start accepting the reality, the moment you start embracing the reality, your expectations will start coming down because you're compromising on it. You're saying, yes, it is like this. So if you're looking at the mountain and say, this mountain should not be a rock, it should be like a lake, that is an expectation. But if you really accept that mountain is made up of matter, which is very dense, you will reconcile to the fact that mountain should be only rocky. You're not getting any kind of expectation. You do tomorrow, you see, you want to test your own power and say that today this is a rocky mountain. Tomorrow I have got willpower. Tomorrow morning I get up and I see it will become lake, means it will never happen. That's an unrealistic expectation. So acceptance of reality, detachment from things are the ways where we can actually bring down the expectation level to a moderate level. As you said, expectations without expectation, there is no progress, no civilization. Yes, maintain at that level. Okay.
But I feel I like to control the expectation with the desire to control. We expect somebody else to do something. That's the problem. That's the problem is we expect somebody else to do. That's the greatest problem.
Yeah.
We can't expect any rain to come. We cannot expect sun to shine. That's all okay. We expect somebody to talk, somebody to do this as per our desire.
Right.
That is to say, you told desire to control. That is the basis by which first way of avoiding this.
Yes, perfect. Your explanation is good. You have gone to the next level of inner human urges. You connected this with that urge for control. Yes, perfect.
Yeah. With respect to the same question, I want to know how control differs from advice in a family. That is a mother advising son, but he is taking it differently.
So you have prepared a very delicious food and you have offered it to your son with a lot of compassion, care. I've prepared this one. Please have it. It is an advice. Taking a spoon, taking some stuff from the bowl and forcing the spoon into his mouth is control. You understand both. You're offering, in one sense, you're offering. In the other sense, you're intruding and you're actually taking control of the situation and you're pushing the spoon into his mouth. That is what is control. So control is a power game. Usually in families, this happens. The more you want to control, the other person also wants to control. The moment you surrender yourself, the person will also surrender. If not this moment, after a few moments, he will surrender. So it is a power game. Much before you expect other person to surrender to you, first you surrender. But your ego will not permit you to surrender first. But we think that we get defeated if we surrender. But the reality is, the surest way to conquer the other person is to surrender. The moment you surrender, the part to their surrender is already written. And since you are the first person to initiate it, the success is yours, the victory is yours. That is how you have to see. So in your case, advice to your son, of course, these are the times when teenagers, they think that parents are outdated. It's not that they don't love us. They love us, they are more concerned about us, but they don't express the way we express to the children. That is the game of nature. That is how nature has designed life. They don't, some people, they might not even acknowledge, or they might sound little rude, but within them they have a lot of love and concern. But they think that their parents are outdated because the current trends are as per the wishes and whims and fancies of the current youth generation. The kind of songs, the kind of movies, the kind of things that are happening in the current moment or in synchronization with the moods and vibes of the youth. But you are a little different. Instead of listening to today's song, we might be listening to the songs of yesteryears where we used to enjoy our childhood or our youthfulness. We are more connected to that moment, not to than to this. Because of that, the children think that we are outdated, and they think that we don't have much knowledge of life. And that's the reason why they take your advice very lightly. They think, oh, mom doesn't know, dad doesn't know, they're outdated people. And they express an attitude of defiance. How much you know? I know much better. Today I have Google. You don't have Google. You don't know how to operate your mobile. Now I can operate my mobile within seconds. I can get whatever information you want. We are more empowered. That's the attitude that the current generation is carrying. So that is the attitude of defense. Even you might be seeing in your children, in your families. So we should understand. We know that it is just a limited knowledge with which they are playing. We should have compassion. We should continue our way of expressing, understanding, making them understand and realize the worth of our wisdom. The wisdom that we have acquired now is not a bookish or Google knowledge. It is a lifetime experience. Whatever we have accumulated during our real lifetime experiences, it has been condensed into wisdom, which we are trying to transfer to our children, but they are not in a position to accept. So we should have the patience till the time they grow up to a level where they can start consuming our wisdom. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Sir, I think control is governed by Newton's third law. Whenever you want to control,
Yes,
there is
right.
equally opposite reaction also.
Right. Perfect. Newton's third law. To every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction.
When you try to control, they're equally resisting.
Right.
At least true in modern times, at least.
Right. Perfect.
Thanks.
Thank you. Any other?
Where do you place these goals then?
What?
Goals.
Yeah, see, having goals in life is very, very important, because when you're actually riding a bicycle, if it is not moving forward, you cannot balance the bicycle beyond few seconds. You either fall this side or that side. Means the journey on bicycle cannot continue unless it is moving forward. Means the act of balance becomes terrible. You cannot balance. You'll fall either this side or that side. So in life, if you have no goals, we will feel worthless. We think, why are we living? It's better to die. A sense of hopelessness will start creeping in your mind, and you'll feel worthlessness, and ultimately you actually end up in depression. And like the way A cycle cannot balance itself without moving, you fall. Psychologically or physically, you'll start deteriorating. So, in order to keep moving forward in life, you should always have some goals which you should continue to pursue one after the other, one after the other. See, if you look at our life, it is nothing but a continuous pursuit of goals, one goal after the other, one goal after the other. When we are in school, our goal is to pass 10th class examination with distinction. And when we accomplished it, next goal, we want to get into a professional course or any educational career or thing that you want. Then maybe you become a doctor. There, it is not stopping. You want to have another goal. You want to have a flourishing business. You want to have a beautiful soulmate. Then you want to have a good children. You want to have big house, big things. Like that, goals are creeping in our life. So desires and goals, they are actually somewhat related. Any desire which is having a tangible measurement is what is known as goal. You want to become a doctor not at the age of 65. It is at the age of 25. So it is a tangible, measurable thing. Goal should always be smart, specific, measurable, attainable, tangible, realizable. So these are called goals. Dreams and desires, unless they have these specific things, they cannot be considered as goals. So you should always have goals. You might be thinking that I said, okay, you should not have expectations. Expectations, okay, you have expectation, but if you can convert that expectation into a goal, all your energies will be focused on the attainment of that goal. It is a realizable, realistic goal, which can be attained in a specific manner, in a specific time. So when there is a goal, you're connected to the goal till you achieve it. If it is not achievable, you tend to change the ways of attaining it. Goals are not something which you can drop off in between. So using different strategies, you can reach, for example, goal. Reaching Delhi is a goal. You can go walking, you can go bicycling, you can go on a mobile, you can go on a flight, you can go by a train, you can go by a thing. You have started your journey walking. So the path is a very difficult path. And one day you will give up the goal saying that this goal is not attainable. But you should understand that this is one of the solution or the approach you have taken for goal fulfillment. But you should understand that there are several other approaches. So since this approach has failed, since this strategy has failed, you have to switch on to the other thing and continue your movement towards the goal. So did I answer your question? Has your question been answered in the proper sense?
Thank you. Right.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you so much. Yeah. Any other questions? Jyoti ji, you have not. Leena ji, you have not asked. Falini Kumar, you have no questions.
Sir, I wanted to ask, but everybody was asking, so I could not say anything. Sir, because I'm in the office also right now.
Okay.
Sir, the thing is that it is like, okay, every time you have to be joyful and happy. But sometimes some past comes suddenly, glimpse of that suddenly comes in your mind. Sometimes you feel like yourself, you feel like you don't want to be happy. Sometimes you want to be neutral.
Your question will be answered during tomorrow's session. During the next topic, it will be answered. And see, basically, our choice of thoughts.
Okay.
So suddenly something has crept from your past. Immediately say, I don't prefer this thought. Cancel. Go away.
But see, the feelings still remains. I mean,
no. The moment you shift your focus from one thought to an alternative thought, your feelings will change. So anyhow, tomorrow we are going to talk about it. I will address
Okay.
your concern tomorrow.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, any other question, please? Okay, I'm assuming that all the questions have been cleared. So I hope you really enjoyed today's session. I thank you all for attending this session. So tomorrow we'll have the session at again 11 o'clock. So till the time, thank you. Take care. Bye. Have a beautiful day ahead. Thank you so much.
Thank you
Thank
very
you,
much.
Master.
Thank you so much, sir. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.